Hello, this is James George at Sorcery Shop with our next episode of Hobbyist to Pro. So today what we're going to do, we're going to cover some stuff with the ITR. I think it's time to think about what you can be doing because levitations are some of the most powerful magic that you can do. And it never ceases to get a great reaction, but the big challenge is to resist repeating the trick for the same audience. And boy, are they going to put some pressure on you to do it again, but you must resist that at all costs. You have everything to lose and nothing to gain. If you've created the wonder, you've done your job. Your job is done. Do not get kind of sucked into thinking that you need to do it again and again, and if you do that, you're gonna get caught and you're gonna lose everything you've gained. And you have nothing to gain by doing that. That's the first thing I want to say. And we'll move on to the next thing. Today we're going to be covering the Haunted Pack. I've had some specific requests for that with the ITR. So I'm going to show you my own handling, the way I approach it. It's a really simple routine, easy to do, and I think you'll have a lot of fun performing it. And it's just one more great thing you can do with the ITR of the many routine ideas that are available. Okay. Let's stay tuned. So you want to start with your ITR pinned in your shirt. For this one I'm using the iMicro ITR. I think it's one of the best all-purpose ITRs that we manufacture. And I would recommend having 3 or 4 of those on hand if you're going to be serious about performing this. That way if you're having a problem, it's not interrupting your flow. You can just grab another one and keep going. Don't worry about it. Then you can take them, set them all aside, repair them in all one stretch, and that way you have them back in stock and you can use them again and again. I feel that's one of the best strategies. If you're serious about, just like if you're going to learn to play the guitar, you're going to have to commit to learning to tune it and take care of it. It's the same thing with the ITR. You're going to have to commit to being able to repair it, get them reset. And we cover that, in detail. You can go to my website, invisiblethreadmagic.com members, and the password is invisible, and you can access a ton of material on ITRs on our website. But also be covering it on our YouTube channel here in future episodes. If you have some specific thing you'd like me to cover, like I had a request for the Haunted Pack, we'll do that. So basically you want the ITR pinned in your shirt. The thread comes between the 2 buttons, and you have a little tiny wax ball. Now for this one, you're going to want to make the wax ball pretty small. I'm going to leave it big just so you can see it, but you should have it also be a little flat for this routine. And then you're going to want to be able to stick it to your thumbnail because that's part of the routine. So basically you would have someone shuffle the pack of cards, and when you take it from them, what I do is I'm sticking the wax ball to the bottom card. So you want to just transfer it. Then you can fan through the cards if you want. And then you can let them know, yeah, they're thoroughly shuffled. Maybe under the pretense of removing the jokers or something like that. So basically, then you're clean. After you get the wax ball stuck to the bottom, that's really the hardest part of the routine, is to do that smoothly and not get caught and have them see anything. And then you're going to want to have them remove 1 card from the pack. So basically they're going to take out a card. So you'll be turning the deck this way, and then basically you're going to have to flip it over so that you can get the thread running over the top. So it should be coming from the bottom over to the top and towards the audience this way. So, and as far as putting the card in the pack, you just want to leave it loose and go ahead and slice it in there and just practice this until you get it smooth. So basically you're all set. You could cut the cards and have maybe another spectator pick another card depending on how complicated you want to get with your routine. I'm just going to do it with 1 card. I feel that just keeping it simple, straightforward, and the magic powerful, and you really can't beat it. So then the card just pops right out, and it happens pretty much automatically. There's really nothing you have to do. You just set the cards down. You can also do it on the floor, and It works great. There's a lot of different techniques and ways of doing it. But I kind of leave that up to you to experiment and come up with your own method. Now, if you leave more cards on top, it'll have more weight. So you'll want to be thinking about that. And that'll keep the card trapped. So you're going to want to play with the tension that's on your reel. You might want to use the Z grip to pull some of the thread out and control it with your fingers. And that way you can, but what I recommend doing is if it's not moving, you can wave your hands around. That way they don't think there's a string attached to your finger. Then you can come in and then just very slowly, I don't recommend doing this quick, you can just have their card creep out just like that, and then you can show them your card. Now the cleanup is actually quite easy too. All you have to do is turn the deck towards you. I'm going to turn around so you can see. You just scrape the wax ball off with your thumb and stick it there as you go to put the cards back in the box. So very simple, very straightforward, really nothing to it, and it all happens automatically. You can let the wax ball slip off your finger. It'll retract back up to the reel, so you're all set to repeat the performance again. All you have to do is stick the wax ball on your shirt and you're set to go. So that's the Haunted Pack, and if you guys have any more questions on that, go ahead and post them in the video below, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts and comments. And maybe you guys have come up with some great ideas on performing the Haunted Pack that can help other people too. And that's what our channel is about, is all of us helping each other and pulling each other up. So stay tuned, we're going to have some more exciting surprises coming your way. I just covered the Haunted Pack. I hope you guys get a lot of use out of that. Just play around with it and kind of come up with your own handling on that. It's not real critical. As you can see, the method is very, very simple. And you can watch some of the other Haunted Pack demonstrations on YouTube also to get some ideas that might inspire your own handling. But yeah, there's a few things I wanted to cover today, and that is in your journey towards becoming a professional magician and getting out there. And our goal right now is to get you up to 10 different illusions. I have a few more rope effects I wanted to share with you. These are great because you can do them both in a close-up environment and on stage. In our next series, we'll be doing like stage magic. So I'll want to be covering all the, maybe we'll have 10 different routines we cover for that. So you have a foundation. My goal with this is to put a foundation under you so you have the confidence that you're standing on some solid effects, some great routines, and the psychology of, getting out there, being able to express yourself, connect with other people, and develop rapport, and also learn a lot of different techniques with how you can more effectively communicate and connect with anybody in your life. This stuff's going to serve you in any area of your life, even if you stop pursuing magic and just you're doing other things. So real quick, yeah, this is a great routine. I learned this a long time ago when we had a magic shop in Sacramento. And yeah, lots of fun. So basically, I'll do the trick first. But basically, it's a story that I tell about when I was a child, and I used to frustrate my mom because I would tie my shoes, but while walking to school, the laces would slip through the loops in my shoes. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. So basically you end up with a big knotted mess. You can even have someone give that a jerk if you want to. It's not going anywhere. So this appears to be a very solid knot, but amazingly enough, if you just kind of grab your fingers on it and do a little magic, I'm actually going to have to stand up a little bit here. I don't think the camera's going to be able to see, and I'm not able to hold on to this. Okay, there we go. So you just kind of wiggle your fingers, and you can remove the knot from the rope, make it disappear. And really simple to do, but wow, it really blows people away, I have to say.
And so how do you do this? So I'm going to go ahead and teach you guys how to do this. And then you can come up with your own routine, presentation, story around it for yourself. So basically you kind of make like two guns with your fingers. And what you want to do is grip the rope between these two fingers. And then this comes over this one and goes around that thumb. This one comes around this finger. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, it's kind of like this. So you kind of lay your thumb there, your finger there, and then just push forward until it makes the letter Z. So it's kind of a Z configuration. And then this thumb and finger goes over and grabs this side. This thumb and finger goes and grabs that side. So that's how you make the bow. So you want to hold this up above the two lengths of rope so that you kind of reach down inside and pull these out. And you just repeat that again and again. And apparently you can do this as many times as you want and it will still work as long as you do it evenly on both sides. So I'll put even more in this time. And yeah, it's for some reason it locks up, so you can't pull on it. So you can actually have the spectator jerk on it, proving it's a solid knot, which is pretty darn cool. But I find what you can do is you can loosen it up by pulling the top and the bottom down. And then like I was doing before, you can kind of just pull this out and then the knot completely disappears just like that. So really great, a lot of fun. It's pretty easy to learn and you can play back the video, play it back in slow motion if you need to. And that should get you going. That one, really simple trick. This next one I'm going to share with you guys is one I came up with a long time ago. Actually, I came up with it just after the Copperfield special aired, where Copperfield had done his $100 bill switch. So basically, you can borrow the bill from the spectator if you want. It's up to you. This is a pretty clever method. You just straighten out the bill and as you borrow it from the spectator, and then you're just going to fold it up and do this very slowly. And notice there's nothing there and nothing there. And that was the difference between kind of the other ideas going around on this particular trick at the time. So basically, after you do that, you can just do your magic and hopefully this, why you'd want to do this trick, I have no idea. Turning a $100 bill into a 5, obviously it's supposed to go the other way. But I'll just go ahead and do it again. I mean, mainly I just want to teach the technique to you here. It's going to be up to you to master it and perfect it. And you can also show the other side of the bill if you want. Yeah, that's not a problem. I'll teach you how to do that too. But let's go ahead and make it go back to the 100. So we'll just do this one more time. We bring this up like that. And then just like that. It goes back into the 100. And what's really cool about this is you're completely clean at the end. I mean, there's nothing, and you can hand the bill right back to the spectator. The way I came up with the handling for this, pretty cool. And I know there's some other improved variations on this on the market too. You might want to pick those up. I'll send you a link to the one that we're offering. It's on murphysmagic.com, but I can get it for you, no problem. And it's pretty darn cool, and it's another handling. It's similar, but this will give you something to get started with. If you want to go to the more advanced methods, you can do that. So now for the teaching, how do we do this bill switch? So basically, you start by having the 100 folded up. So you'll want to fold this 1, and the folds always go to the bottom up. 2, over, then bottom up. 3. So you make 3 folds for this particular version. And then the only move I'm using is I kind of keep it in a thumb clip kind of a thumb palm, like that. And then I'll borrow a $1 bill from the spectator. I usually ask them for a nice crispy new one. And then so I actually take the bill from them with the hot hand. That way I can kind of show this hand's empty. And then I immediately transfer it to the other hand so I can show. So basically what I've done, so you can see, is as soon as I grab it here, I can transfer it there. So I keep transferring it back and forth. That's how I'm continuing to show my hands empty. So basically, I'll just kind of give you a rear view look at this. So basically we're folding this over, and I kind of repeat the same moves again, because it really establishes that your hands are empty. And then I do the same thing again as I'm creasing it. Then you'll want to line this up with the bottom edge and get it kind of in the middle as you bring this over. And then you'll fold the new bill, the $100 bill, to the front. But the audience doesn't really know that. They don't, because there's really nothing showing that would let them know anything has changed at this point. Then you can do the magic or whatnot, pass your hands around it if you want to. It's up to you. And then as soon as it's becoming apparent, and then I unfold it. And then there's this move. You just kind of come in here and your thumb drags this apart as you straighten that out and straighten that out. So I'll just kind of repeat that again. And this is a thumb, what we call a thumb tipless bill switch, because a lot of them use a thumb tip. I think it's completely unnecessary. And after you get out there and you start performing this, you'll understand that you really don't need a thumb tip. It actually just gets in the way. And not necessary at all. And it's one more cumbersome thing that you have to worry about getting rid of, and you got it on your thumb, and how are you going to ditch it? You have to worry about getting it on your thumb. And it makes the trick completely impromptu, which is what I like about it. And so that is the thumb tipless bill switch by James George, me. And it's something I came up with in about I want to say it was about 1985 or so. It was a long time back. Whenever that Copperfield special was, that's when I kind of thought about it and came up with it. But anyway, so that's one more trick in your arsenal of close-up magic. And we'll also cover some more ITR magic in some future episodes. But we covered the Haunted Pack on this one. I'm going to kind of cover, I want to kind of cover a lot of magic in this one, just to get you up so you feel like, wow, I got enough stuff, I can really get started and I can start marketing myself. And I'll probably even teach you guys how to build a basic marketing website. I'm thinking about doing that. I've discovered some very cool software that I want to share with you guys, that you can build a really nice, beautiful WordPress website. And I'll get into that when we get into the marketing aspects. And I'm thinking about even doing some phone calls where I call some different hotels and let you watch live the whole entire process of booking a show and contacting different event management companies who could potentially, you could start doing magic for those guys. That's your best bet, because they do the marketing for you. They already have the relationships with the clients. And if you get in their good graces, they're going to be throwing you a ton of work, and you're going to be completely free to just focus on your magic, which is a beautiful thing, because I know a lot of people don't really like getting on the phone, making cold calls, and getting out there and taking action and marketing yourself. But that is really what's required if you're going to become a professional magician.